Biotechnology, Principle and Processes, 11.3.3, Amplification of Gene of Interest using PCR. PCR stands for Polymerase Chain Reaction. So this was developed by a scientist Kary Mullis in 1983. This technique is able to amplify the very small amount of DNA into a large number of copies. So 0.1 to 10 kilobase pairs of length of DNA that can be amplified into more than 1 billion times. So here this we use the property of DNA denaturation annealing property, and the raw materials are the primers, a very short chemically synthesized oligonucleotides that are complementary regions of DNA, the enzyme, DNA polymerase enzyme. So here we are using a special enzyme, that is thermostable DNA polymerase enzyme, isolated from Thermus aquaticus. This bacteria lives in the hot springs, ಬಿಸಿ ನೀರಿನ ಬುಗ್ಗೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾಲಿಮರೇಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪಾಲಿಮರೇಸ್, ಥರ್ಮಸ್ ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕಸ್ polymerase enzyme. And the nucleotides, obviously nucleotides will be used. Say this is a piece of DNA we want to amplify. First, in the PCR machine, we heat up that DNA containing solution, say 96 degrees centigrade. Depending upon the type of the DNA, it varies, the duration and temperature will vary. So maximum will be 96 to 97 degrees centigrade. If 80 rich regions are there, they got 2 hydrogen bonds, they easily break. So very less time duration is sufficient. If there is a more GC content is there, it need a little bit of more time, where it is GCR triple bonded, as we know. 3 hydrogen bonds will be there. So if we heat up, say for about at 96 degrees centigrade for 20 seconds, this denature of DNA takes place. It becomes double stranded to single stranded, and we'll add a primer to that. If we cool, say 55 degrees centigrade, the primers will anneal. So we are using 2 sets of primers. One is forward and reverse, so that at one particular region it will be amplified. One is for this strand, coding strand, another is template strand. So these two are the primers are attached. Say to that deoxynucleotides and DNA polymerase, TAC polymerase enzyme is added, and we heat up to 72 degrees centigrade, where this enzyme will synthesize the DNA, and again we heat it. The cycle repeats as long as the nucleotides are there, so we'll get the number of copies. So this is a very beautiful technique of amplifying the very rare, very small DNA. Obtaining the foreign gene product. When we insert a piece of alien DNA into a cloning vector and transfer it into bacterial, plant or animal cell, the alien DNA gets multiplied as the cell divides, as the cell functions. In almost all recombinant technologies, the ultimate aim is to produce a desirable protein. Hence, there is need of recombinant DNA to be expressed. The recombinant DNA has to be expressed. The foreign gene gets expressed under appropriate conditions. After having cloned the gene of interest and having optimized the condition to induce the expression of target protein. If the gene expresses, we will get the target protein. Any protein encoding gene is expressed in heterologous host is called recombinant protein. The cells harboring cloned genes of interest may be grown on a small scale in laboratory. The cultures may be used for extracting the desired protein and then purifying it by using different separation techniques. The cells can also be multiplied in a continuous culture system wherein the used medium is drained out from one side while fresh medium is added from the other to maintain the cells in their physiologically most active log exponential phase. In exponential phase, we will get large number of cells. So they are in active growth condition. This type of culturing method produces a large biomass leading to higher yield of desired protein. Small volume cultures cannot yield appreciable quantities of products. To produce in large quantities, the development of bioreactors, where the large volumes 100 to 1000 liters of cultures can be processed, was required. Bioreactor can be thought of as vessels in which raw materials are biologically converted into specific products, individual enzymes, using microbial plant, animal or human cells. A bioreactor provides the optimal condition for achieving the desired products by providing optimum growth conditions like temperature, pH, substrate, salts, vitamins, oxygen. The most commonly used bioreactor are the stirring tank, which is shown in the figure. So here the stirred tank bioreactor, and this is a outer layer where the temperature is maintained by the steam, and here you can see a central shaft here. They are the impellers. They continuously rotate, stir, so that the bacterial cultures or any culture mass, they get not clumped and they may not settle. They should be freely moving all in the containing reactor solution. Okay, and there is a motor to rotate this impeller, and here is a vent for adding acid base for pH control, and steam for sterilization. Another vent is there. This is a foam breaker. The impeller on the top is a foam breaker, so foam has to be avoided. And this is a flat bladed impeller. This culture broth. Okay, it rotates all the culture around it. And there is a sterile air, so aeration is continuously maintained here. So as long as we required, we are maintaining this. And another is sparged stirred tank bioreactor, through which sterile air bubbles are sparged. Here you can see this is the vent where high pressure pumps, say pneumatic compressor, are used, so that only the sterile air will be passed through this. So bubbles increases the oxygen transfer area, and this is also one method. Generally in examination this diagram is asked. The stirred tank reactor is usually cylindrical or with a curved base to facilitate the mixing of the reactor contents. The stirrer facilitates even mixing and oxygen availability throughout the bioreactor. Alternatively, air can be bubbled through the reactor. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏರ್ನೂ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಪಂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Next is downstreaming process. After completion of biosynthetic stage, the product has to be subjected through a series of processes before it is ready for marketing as finished product. The process includes separation and purification, which are collectively referred as downstream processing. The produced product has to be processed and separated and purified. And this process is known as downstreaming process. The product has to be formulated with suitable preservatives. So for this biological product, there is an expiration date will be there. To maintain its active condition, some preservatives are supposed to be added. Such formulation has to undergo thorough clinical trials, as in case of drugs. Strict quality control testing for each product is also required. The downstream processing and quality control testing vary from product to product. So this is an overall view of this biotechnology principle and processes. I tried my level best to give justice to this particular unit. Thank you.